Hey Osmo, I just had this thought that really quite disturbed me, and I don't know, I feel a bit drowsy right now. I feel like I need to take a nap. I've been tired all day. I think maybe it's the pollen. I don't think I'm allergic to pollen, but especially here in Sweden now, it's crazy. Like you can't even sit outside without getting pollen all over your butt and back and everything, because all the benches and everything is just covered in pollen. Um, but this thought that struck me now was that I'm not quite sure where to begin, but the idea is that it's weird how I'm less effective with AI at my disposal. Shouldn't it be that this is a tool that, I don't know, enables some kind of superhuman kind of intelligence? No, that's not quite it. That might be a hot take, but I realized that when I was in high school, before large language large language models were big, like before ChatGPT was released, there was, of course, I mean, AI has probably been around for a super long time. I'm not sure about the whole tech history, but I I remember in high school I did all the work myself always. And if I ever had questions, I would either ask the teacher or I would look through the course literature, like the textbooks, or I would find everything on YouTube. And that I was in my academic prime in high school. And then I graduated high school and then I took 3 gap years and then I attended university just last year, and now I've been in university for 2 years, and I've done so much of my schoolwork with AI. It's almost safe to say that AI has done a lot of my schoolwork at this point, and I just feel like it's such a liability how I'm dependent on the large language models. Primarily ChatGPT is the one that I've been using um, to do the work for me, which is just crazy. I mean, I've gotten so lazy in this aspect. It's wild. And it also struck me yesterday. I feel like this is a big eureka awakening moment, but it struck me yesterday that, again, during my high school time, short form content was not at all as popular as it is right now. I mean, now I feel like short form content is the primary way of receiving entertainment, maybe. I don't know. I feel like this attention span war. I feel like the big tech companies really won, at least the majority of people they've won over. And it's just crazy because I remember, again, in high school, I would never just doom scroll short, like YouTube shorts weren't a thing. I remember when YouTube shorts launched. I remember Vine. I feel like Vine was the first kind of short form content, but it wasn't at all, um, brain rot, or just not that I remember, at least. In my view, in my experience, I feel like Vine was, at least early Vine. I'm not sure what happened in the end, if it got sold, if TikTok is Vine with Musical.ly somewhere in between. I'm not sure what happened. But I just remember, like, when Vine was new, this was like the new format. So it kind of felt like when YouTube was new, people were just making fun videos, like, early Smosh or Niga Higa, or who else, like iJustine, or I don't know, Casey Neistat back in the day, Prank versus Prank, Shay Carl, all of these old school YouTubers, all the vlogs, CTFXC, The Internet Killed the Television, whatever it was, uh, Charles and Ali, I think their names was. I remember spending so much time on YouTube, and of course PewDiePie, and that's, I'm kind of segmenting into PewDiePie right now too, because I really love his, like, the development that he's gone down, how he went from like YouTuber gamer, and now I just saw his most recent video, which there's no way you've seen this video that you're watching right now without having seen PewDiePie's video, but I'll put it in the description anyway. You need to help out the smaller creators on YouTube. So I'm gonna post his video. It was really inspiring. It was fun. I had a couple of laughs. Make sure you go and subscribe to PewDiePie. He's up and coming. um, and his video just made me realize that I feel like, for context, he's releasing his self-hosted AI bot, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. He's calling it AI workspace. Maybe that's the most accurate name for it. Odysseus, I think it's called. No, I know it's called. I just wasn't sure how to pronounce this, but it's probably Odysseus. And it just got me so excited to abandon ChatGPT and Gemini and all these big tech companies that own my data, and I would just really like to self-host. I feel like that's something to aspire to, just like PewDiePie is really doing and paving the way, at least making it. I know that there are probably a lot of other YouTubers who's doing this, but seeing as he's got such a big audience and I really like his way of communicating, it just feels nice. The more people who do it, the better. But it's just so weird now with university, and I mean, I've always been a procrastinator. That's true, but I feel like the time span that this, like the last, is it the Pareto's principle maybe, where no matter how much time you're given for a project, you will always use up all that time for the project or whatever. So if you have 2 weeks to study for an exam, you're going to be all slow. But if you have like an exam tomorrow, then you're going to hyper focus on it and kind of, excuse me, cram the same amount of work, but in a couple of hours instead of across 2 weeks. I feel like I've been all over the place right now. Like I said in the beginning, I'm a bit sleepy, but it's just weird, this feeling that I am less effective now, and I feel like I know less, and I'm less critical. Like my problem solving skills are way worse than they were in high school, and my critical thinking is probably way worse, and I depend too much on AI, and I feel like I don't want to give my brain away to AI anymore, and I also don't want to give my attention away to short form content anymore. So I know I posted a video saying from now on I'll be more intentional. I feel like maybe that was just planting the seed. There's a couple of things I've noticed, or maybe it's more like human nature. I've noticed that a lot of things they start off as thoughts, ideas, feelings, but it takes a while for your brain to actually kind of cement it, if that makes sense, into your routine or into your mindset, so that you actually act accordingly. And I guess that repetition is key here, to just repeat the same thoughts and constantly remind yourself of who you want to be and where you want to do, who you want to be, where you want to be, and what you want to do. And also, there was one more thing that I was thinking about. Oh, that was just another branch that me and my therapist talked about that I don't have to go into. This is what happens when the videos are not scripted, but it's just ramble videos. I feel like after having made a couple of ramble videos now, I can look back at them and pick up whatever subjects or ideas that I thought were interesting, and then script a longer video with more insights on it. I've been seeing a therapist for 2 years now, and I feel like I've realized a lot of things about myself and about relationships and human nature and kind of at least how I function. So I feel like it would be interesting to share that with you, and maybe it's helpful. Some things are super obvious, some things feel like they should be obvious, but it's not until you hear them, or you experience it yourself, or you realize that you can actually see the things or the patterns or whatever. So much just is autopilot, and it's nice to sometimes just take a step back and but not take a step back from the microphone. That's 10 minutes, and I won't ramble on any longer. I will see you in the next video, and until then, I'm gonna have to do a crap ton of studying because, of course, I have an exam tomorrow, and 2 days after that, and 3 days after that, and then like a whole week after that, because it's exam season. It's crazy. I'm a procrastinator with a split attention span, unfortunately, so wish me luck. Perfect voice crack.